I'd like to say hello everyone and welcome. This is my 1000 subscriber special where I was requested to rank the aranara in Genshin Impact, which is something that I agreed to. Love the aranara. We'll be ranking them. Before I start off though, I have to say thank you for 1000 subscribers. It's quite a lot of subscribers, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure what I did to get that many subscribers, but also what I need to stress before we start. This is just my opinion. If you don't agree, I guess that's a choice. But it's also important that we stay nice to each other in the comments. I don't want to see any fighting in the comments. If you don't agree, such and such, we're not going to fight one another. Let's all be civil about this. It's the aranara. But yeah, with those two things out of the way, I think I'd like to start. Yeah, so we start with Arapass. Arapass down here appears in the aranara quest, by the way. So right off the bat, we start with one of the main character aranaras, who is honestly, in my opinion, I think that's peak. I think they're honestly peak. So Arapass goes into my top tier, which is genuine peak. Other than that, I have my faves, my cookies. Next is love them. Then a little bit down is neutrality, and then I don't like them. But yeah, next is Arabalika. And Arabalika, I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy that we get such a good aranara so early into the ranking, because this is truly one of the best aranara in the game. So Arabalika, I'm gonna put Arabalika in genuine peak. It might be controversial to some people, but this is just what I think is justified for Arabalika. So yeah. Next is Arakanda. Arakanda, he looks a little bit more basic. Doesn't really have any special design options, isn't holding any tools. But Arakanda, regardless, I think is amazing. And I think Arakanda, genuine peak. I think that's justified. I think that would make sense in my tier list, yeah. Next is Arafala. Now, Arafala is the first aranara in the tier list that we come across that has this amazing fruit basket on their head. Arafala looks a little bit like Arana, but Arana just like has a different personality, so you have to respect that. On top of that, Arafala has the fruits on their head. So Arafala, where we put Arafala, I think Arafala goes into peak. Next on my list is Araprabu. Araprabu, one of the best to do it. I'm telling you right now, Araprabu. Love, a carpenter, holding tools, taking charge, deserves to be in genuine peak. Not everybody thinks this, but I honestly think if you do that much for your community, you should be in peak. So yeah, Araprabu goes into peak. Next is Arapratap. And Arapratap, he's not, this isn't really the best picture of him that exists. I'm not sure why they chose this picture to be in the tier list, but Arapratap, just for that alone, the injustice that you face with them taking a bad selfie to put on your poster like this, I think that alone warrants your place in genuine peak. Because it's unfair, they tried to set you up, and I'm not gonna let them have what they want. And I'm not getting baited by something as stupid as that, so yeah. Arapratap, you too are an amazing aranara. Next is Arasayan. I'm not even arguing. If you don't agree, then that's your own problem. You need to reflect on why you don't agree, because this is it's an easy placement. It's what the people are doing. Everybody would agree, and it's problematic if you don't agree, in my opinion. I think that's something we have to look into as a community. Next is Arasaka. Now, Arasaka, wait, I switched them around, but that's Arasaka. This one is Arasaka. Arasaka, one of the best aranara designs in the game. Look at that. The 4-leaf clovers, bro. Arasaka, I'm sorry, but that's... your outfit is so good. We had to put it in peak. So next is Arashakun. Now, look at Arashakun. Look at him. He is wearing a flower on his chest. What a gentleman. What such composure. Like, not every aranara and not every person ever either has this much like demurity to them. How do I say it? Like, this is just, it's a gentleman. It's a gentleman, gentle lady, gentle binary. I'm not sure which you are, monarch. You go into peak because it's just amazing. Look at that. Such composure. It's amazing. It shocks me every time, like, yes, peak. That brings us to Arasudraka. Now, Arasudraka is one of my favorite aranaras in the game. So this is just a personal opinion, but Arasudraka, I'm putting Arasudraka in peak. This is a personal opinion. I understand if you don't agree, but that is honestly what I think, where I think Arasudraka should be. So yeah, I hope nobody comes at me harsh for this. Next is Aravane. Now, Aravane is one of the only aranara that is holding kitchen tools. Aravane, I think, first of all, looks amazing. Love Aravane. I drew them one time. We had contact, talked to them. Aravane goes into peak. Personal opinion, I understand if it's not for you, but for me, that is genuine. That is really what a goat is all about. Not everybody's doing it like Aravane. Ariasa. I love Ariasa simply because of everything, basically. I feel like I don't really have to explain such and such in situations like this. Ariasa goes into peak for me. That's where you deserve to be. I think you're amazing. Next is Ariash. Now, Ariash is another one of those carpenter aranara that I really, really like. So, Ariash goes into peak because I just love, I love when the aranara do a little something and contribute to the community. Whether that be intellectually or theoretically or with their hands, it's just something that I can really respect in a community manager. So next is Arakatora. Had to write her name down because it's so hard to pronounce, but I think that name choice is something beautiful. And I think that design is something beautiful too, so I think that's genuine peak. We're putting her in the genuine peak tier. Next is Aradanish. Aradanish, love Aradanish. Look at him in the grass over here. Aradanish, it's giving pastry, it's giving bakery, it's giving amazing, show-stopping. I'm gonna put it in peak. That's where Aradanish deserves to be. Yeah. Next on my list, this is Aradasa. Aradasa, peak, not arguing, not taking criticism on this one. Who's next on my list? Araasha? I never know how to pronounce it. But you went to peak. Love these aranara with like the little glasses on them. It's such a fantastic design choice on their behalf. Like if you are an aranara and you choose to wear your glasses even though they're not in front of your eyes, I think you deserve a special shout out. So yeah, Araasha, nobody is really doing it like Araasha. So yeah, Aragaru. Next is Aragaru, one of the smaller aranaras, which I think is very peak. Goes in there. Seems obvious, but not to everybody, I promise you. Which brings us to Aragita. Now, Aragita is also one of my favorite aranaras. I'm glad to see them included in this list. Aragita, I'm placing you in peak, personally. I think that's where you deserve to be. So, Aragita, you're in peak. Next is Arya. Arya, the town elder. You walk into the Aranara council room and you're gonna see Arya there. This is really a member of the Aranara community that contributes to the place not quite like anybody else. This is really like a collective member of respect. The Aranara look up to Arya. So I'm putting Arya in peak just for like the service that they provide to the community. Yes, sir. Aracanta. Now, Aracanta is one of the smallest aranaras, and I think they look amazing. Honestly, I think Aracanta, I'm putting you in peak. Now, Arakara, next on my list, Arakara, one of the most beautiful heads in all of Aranara history. Has a pocket, carries flowers around. How am I not supposed to put this in peak? Arakara, come on. Nobody give me that face. Like, come on now. Who's next on my list? Eric Harriman? Yeah, that's Eric Harriman. Eric Harriman, one of the best to do it. Another one of those aranara that you just gotta love. Love you. Eric Harriman goes into peak. Eric Cavi. Nobody say anything. Eric Cavi. I did it. If you don't agree, that's on you. We're gonna do it like this. I believe in my opinion. That brings us to Eric Hunty. Eric Hunty, now come on out. Wearing a little bow too. Eric Hunty. Eric Hunty. Next is Aramani. Now, Aramani is one of my favorite aranaras, one of the best aranaras. I love Aramani. Small business owner in aranara country. Like, I think every genshin player is obligated to buy out Aramani shop every once in a while. You have to support small businesses in the game, especially when the owners are this customer friendly and very concerned with the well-being of their customers. So Aramani for me is automatically top tier. There's really no discussion needed. I think Aramani deserves to be there. Now, Arama, I'm not even going to argue. Arama, automatic, peak tier, sacrifice themselves for the community, is doing it like no one else. That's a tree, happy seed, brave, amazing, gorgeous, fantastic, sweet. It's Arama. You're in my heart. You are in my heart, along with a bunch of other aranara, but you are in my heart. Aramanali. For some reason, Aramanali is one of the only aranara in this list that has a name. Thankfully, I know their names, but Aramanali, I'm putting you in peak tier. Yeah, I can really respect when an aranara just does not care where they're going and wears their hat in a way that is obstructive of their view. It's a craft that not many have mastered, but Aramanali has, and it's something that you have to respect. Now, Eramahukunda. I know if you did not cry when Eramahukunda was talking to the traveler, something is wrong with you. I really genuinely think Aramahukunda, that's peak to me. That is peak to me personally. And I take offense to people who don't agree. So I would suggest that if you disagree with this placement, you keep that to yourself. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not going to argue. Respect each other's opinion. I do not respect yours, but that's just the way it is. They go into peak and you deal with it. It's my video. I choose. If you have something to say, make your own tier list. Like, it's not my problem. Aranaga, another one of these aranara that has glasses, which I love. I don't know who in Aranara City is crafting these glasses, but they are amazing. So Aranaga, you go into peak. It's an amazing outfit choice, so I wouldn't see why not, right? Is that, yes, Aranakin. I hate sand too, and I love Star Wars. So automatically, I think the fact that this is a pop culture reference to Star Wars is such peak. That's peak to me. One of my favorite ones, always has something to say, a little bit sassy. You just have to love him. Ericula, that brings us to Ericula. Ericula is another one of those aranara. First of all, has one of the best hats in the aranara roster. Nobody is quite doing it like Aranakula. Carrying flowers around, flowers on their hat. It's just, Aranakula, you know what, Aranakula, you go there. That brings us to Arana. Rana's personal aranara that she played with a lot when she was a kid. Arana, Arana goes into peak. Yeah. To me, I think, Arana goes into peak. That's fair. Who's next? It's, Arapakati. with the flower. Yeah, Arapakati. Arapakati goes into peak. Loved whenever they appeared. It's a good aranara. I don't know what else to tell you. Now, the best of you may notice that there was a cut in the recording. That is because simply my iPad stopped recording and I had to regroup. But we're back now. As you can see, we have a new addition in Genuine Peak. I'm not going to explain myself, but I am going to move on with Arachita. Arachita goes into Genuine Peak for me. This is one of the only aranara that does have the long body, sassy personality, amazing judgment, by the way. Arachita, that's peak for me, personal peak. Aradashin, I don't even have to explain it. I think we can all agree that Aradashin goes in there. And Arakaya as well. You see the next few aranara on my list all kind of have vision problems, self-inflicted vision problems, but vision problems nonetheless. Masters of their craft. So immediately, Arakaya, Arasaha, Arapurva, and Aranishat as well. Go into Genuine Peak. I think that's quite deserved. Now Aranimba. We've reached Aranimba, and Aranimba is really one of my favorite aranara because of somewhere along the line they just become your favorite aranara. You don't even really get to say in it. They creep up on you. They creep up on your heart. Aranimba, special place in my heart. And Aralila. Now Aralila is one of these aranara that have a very unique look to them. You don't just forget an aranara like Aralila. And Aralila was there at the festival, gave us one of those flowers. Aralila, you know what, Aralila, you go into peak. Which brings me to Arasaka, another 4-leaf clover aranara. Arasaka, you go into peak. I love when aranara are all about being kind and giving good luck to those around them, and I think Arasaka really has that vibe down. So yeah, we'd have to put that into peak. There's just no other option. Ariuta, yeah, that's Ariuta. Ariuta goes into peak. No explanation needed. I think we all agree. Aravadana. Now Aravadana looks quite like one of the aranara that you'd find in the overworld. However, Aravadana is one of the main characters in the Aranyaka world quest. So yeah, Aravadana goes into peak for me. I think that's peak. Now Arasati is one of my favorite aranara. It's one of those aranara that just makes you laugh when they move. Like, I love... What can I say about this? That like justifies it. I think actually I don't even need to justify myself. These are my opinions, and I think they go into peak, so I think that is what we're gonna do. And that leaves me with Arashi and friend. We'd have to do it like that. Next, I added the ones that you find in the overworld. They have different forms, but they have the same names, so it's more like the concept of them. We start with Music Loving Aranara. Music Loving Aranara is one of my favorite aranaras ever. I love Music Loving Aranara. Yeah, Music Loving Aranara automatically goes into peak. Just deserves to be there. It's better like that. Who's next here? This is Reckless Aranara. Reckless Aranara. We have our disputes sometimes because I have opinions on aranaras throwing themselves at the Fatui and anybody involved. However, I understand their willingness to make a stance in the world, and I can really get behind this activism. So, Reckless Aranara, crazy that you are, you go into peak. Next is Confused Aranara, one of the cutest aranara that you need to use Dendro on in order to reach because they're like daydreaming. This is a character trait that I really respect in a person. So, Confused Aranara is peak to me. Next is Material Collecting Aranara. Now, this is one of the aranara that I love most of all. This is truly one of the best aranara in the game. I really think not everybody does it like the Material Collecting aranara. They get what they need. They make their mud soup They lighted the world, really. It's amazing. So, yeah. Material collecting aranara goes into peak. It's just the only place the aranara like that belongs. And this is my final verdict. If you don't agree, I think you should be thinking about why you don't agree. Because this is a factual ranking. It's not like I'm making this up. It's not opinion, it's not subjective. Get over yourself and wake up to peak. Because this is what it looks like. Thank you. Have a nice day.